This video is about she was his second chance, but his Luna returned. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. She was his second chance, but his Luna returned. Part 1. The moon hung low in the sky, cloaked in silvery light, illuminating the sprawling expanse of the verdant valley. Within its depths lay the Azure Moon Pack, a territory steeped in ancient magic and rife with the tension of unfulfilled destinies. Among the towering pines, the air thrummed with the heartbeat of the wolves, wild and untamed. It was here that Alpha Orion strove to heal the wounds of a broken past. Orion stood at the edge of a cliff, a brooding figure silhouetted against the moonlight. The loss of his mate, Luna, had carved a deep chasm in his heart. Though she had been gone for years, her memory loomed over him like a specter. His pack had suffered since her disappearance, and the weight of that sorrow clung to him like a shroud. Orion, a soft voice, broke through his contemplations. It was Alara, his second in command, and the only one who saw the cracks beneath his stoic facade. Her delicate features glimmered in the moonlight, her worry evident in her bright green eyes. "You can keep pushing us away. We need you, and you need to let us help you." He turned to her, his jaw tightening. "I can't afford to be weak, Alara. I am the Alpha. Every day without Luna feels like a betrayal to her memory. Or a betrayal to yourself," she countered gently, stepping closer, her voice steady. "You are not betraying her by finding joy again. You deserve happiness too." His heart ached at her words, but he felt trapped within a cage of guilt. "What if I find someone else?" he whispered, the thought of moving on more painful than he could fathom. "And then you honor her memory by living fully, not by wallowing in the past." Alara reached for his hand, the warmth of her touch igniting a flicker of hope in his chest. "I know you still love her, but you also need to allow yourself a future." Unspoken emotions hung between them, thick and palpable. Alara had stood by his side through the darkest nights, her loyalty unwavering. Yet the thought of her as more than a friend sent a cascade of confusion coursing through him. Just as he opened his mouth to reply, a rustle echoed from the underbrush. Orion's wolf surged forward, instinctively alert. "Stay back, Alara," he commanded. A figure emerged from the shadows, cloaked in darkness. His heart raced. Could it be? No, it was impossible. But as the figure stepped into the moonlight, he recognized the familiar features that haunted his dreams. "Luna!" "Orion," her voice was soft, trembling. "I am back." His world shattered and reformed in an instant. After all these years, she stood before him, alive yet distant. Every ounce of longing and pain surged to the surface. "Where have you been?" Anger laced with hurt spilled from his lips. "You vanished without a word." I couldn't stay," she stammered, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "It was dangerous. I thought of you every day. I never meant to hurt you." Alara's hand slipped from Orion's as she stepped back, her heart sinking. The light between them snuffed out, replaced with the shadow of past wounds. The connection she had felt with him had ignited a flicker of something deeper, but it paled in comparison to the bond he shared with Luna. Orion clenched his fists, battling the storm of emotion swelling within him. "Do you know how much we suffered, how much I suffered?" "I know, and I am so sorry," she whispered, her voice breaking. "I didn't mean to leave you. I was taken." "Taken? By whom?" Orion demanded, the ferocity in his voice startling the birds from their perches. "By the Crimson Fang Pack," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "They wanted to lure you into a trap. I had to escape, to protect you." "Protect me?" The bitterness in his tone cut through her. "You didn't trust me enough to fight alongside you. You left me when I needed you the most. I thought I was saving you." Luna cried, desperation creeping into her voice. "I never wanted this. I never wanted to hurt you." Orion felt torn between the joy of having her back and the pain of the years spent grieving her loss. "And what of Alara?" he spat, his voice rising. "She has been here, supporting me through everything while you—" "I am not here to take her place, Orion," Luna interrupted, her voice trembling with emotions. "I thought of you both. I wanted to come back, but I was afraid of who I'd become." "Afraid?" he echoed, frustration boiling over. "You left without a word. You abandoned us." "Please," she pleaded, stepping forward, her eyes shimmering with sincerity. "You have to understand. I was lost, but I've fought to return for you." The moonlight caressed her face, revealing the faint scars that marred her once flawless skin. Each mark told a story of her struggles, of battles fought in the darkest corners of the earth. As his heart softened, he remembered the girl she had once been, the fearless Luna who had been his everything. "Orion, I've returned to reclaim my place," but her voice faltered vulnerability creeping into her gaze. If you've moved on, I can force you. His heart lurched, a tumultuous wave of emotions crashing over him. And what if I have? What if I found solace in another? Then I will bear it, she said, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. Because I would rather see you happy than be the source of your pain. Is that really what you want? He challenged, the flicker of anger igniting again. To walk away after all this, after everything? Ugh. Luna's voice was fierce now, passion igniting her words. I want you back, Orion. I want to fight for us, but I want to force you to choose. The air grew thick with tension, a dance of longing and heart waging war within him. He began, but the words caught in his throat. Alara watched from the shadows, her heart heavy with a mix of emotions. She had fought her own battles, feeling the weight of their unspoken connection. Yet, seeing Luna before her, raw and vulnerable, she knew she had to step into the light. Orion, she said, her voice steady. You have a choice to make, but know that love is not a cage, it is freedom. Choose wisely. The weight of her words hung in the air, a challenge and a comfort. Forrest held its breath, the night pulsating with the intensity of their emotions. Would he choose the ghost of his past or embrace the possibility of a future that had once seemed impossible? As the moon cast its ethereal glow, Orion felt the weight of his heart teetering on the precipice of fate. In that moment, he realized that love was never straightforward. It was a labyrinth, filled with echoes of what once was and what could be. And as his gaze shifted between Luna and Alara, he recognized the depth of his choice. Destiny was woven through their lives, binding them in ways he was only beginning to comprehend. The wolf within him howled, demanding answers, demanding love. Luna, he whispered, taking a step forward, his heart racing as he faced the reality of his own desires. I need to know if you will fight for us too. A flicker of hope ignited in Luna's eyes, and in that moment Orion realized that the path to redemption was fraught with danger, but it was also bathed in the light of love. The night held promise, and as stars twinkled above, he understood. The journey was only just beginning. She was his second chance, but his Luna returned. Part 2 The tension hung in the air like a storm cloud, crackling with unspoken words. Orion's heart raced between the two women before him, Luna, the embodiment of his past, and Alara, the constant in his present. He had to choose, but how could anyone expect him to decide between two souls that had shaped him? Orion, Luna breathed, breaking the silence, her voice laced with urgency. I know I left you, and I understand your anger, but the time we had it matters. I loved you, and I still do. The ache in his chest deepened. And what about the wounds you left behind? They festered while you were gone. I was alone, Luna. I had to bury my grief every single day. Her eyes shimmered in the moonlight, tears brimming. I can take back the past, but I can promise you a future. I fought to return. Please, let me show you how much I've changed. Changed? Alara interjected, her voice steady but tinged with pain. You think you can just waltz back into his life and erase the scars? Orion's heart isn't a toy to be played with. It is not that simple. Enough. Orion's voice thundered, cutting through their emotions like a knife. The forest fell silent, the rustling leaves holding their breath. I need time to think. He turned from them, his instinct screaming for clarity. In the solitude of the trees, he felt the weight of his wolf surging within him, thrumming with energy. The bond between mates was primal, visceral, and he felt it tugging at his heart. Luna's voice trailed behind him, soft and hesitant. Orion, please don't shut me out. We can face this together. Her words were like a soothing balm, but the scars of betrayal ran deep. Together, he echoed bitterly, turning back to face her. It was together once, and then you were gone. How can I trust that you want to leave me again? Because I am here now, she cried, desperation spilling from her heart. I've fought tooth and nail to return to you. I swear I'll never abandon you again. But what if it is too late? The anguish in his voice morphed into anger. What if I've already started moving on? Ryan felt Alara's presence beside him, a comforting warmth against the storm of his emotions. You've built a life, Ryan, she whispered, her eyes searching his. You've fought battles, but the war isn't over. You have the power to choose what you want. Is that what you think? He glared at her, frustration boiling over. That this is a game. I am torn between two women who hold pieces of my heart, and I can't lose either of you. Maybe it is not about losing one of us, Alara suggested softly, her voice steady as she reached for his hand. What if it is about embracing both parts of your heart? You have a chance to redefine what love means for you. Luna's gaze flickered between them, confusion warring with hope. Orion, I never wanted to be a burden. I came back to understand who I am now, and to prove to you that I can be the Luna you deserve. Deserve? He echoed, the weight of her words crashing into him. What if I can't forgive? What if I can only remember the pain? The air thickened with tension as Luna stepped forward, her voice trembling but firm. Then let me show you how much I've changed. Let me prove to you that I am worthy of your love again. And what about Alara? He asked, unable to hide the flicker of desperation in his voice. She has been here, fighting for me, standing by my side when I needed support. Alara's heart shook at the mention of her name, the conflict rising within her. Orion, I love you, but I will never force you to choose me over her. You deserve happiness, and if that means fighting for Luna, then so be it. The weight of that revelation struck him hard. You love me, he whispered, the truth cutting deeper than he expected. I do, she confessed, tears pooling in her eyes. But I also see the love you hold for Luna. I can take that away from you. Please don't say that, he choked out, anguish clawing at his chest. This should be easy, and yet it feels like the hardest decision of my life. Then take your time, Luna urged, stepping back but keeping her gaze steady. I want to rush you. I want you to find your own truth, no matter where it leads. As the moon bathed the forest in silver light, Orion felt the pull of destiny, the bonds that intertwined their fates. He could see the fierce loyalty in Alara's eyes, the unwavering belief that love could transcend time and pain. Meanwhile, Luna bore the weight of her own struggles as scars reminders of battles fought in the shadows. Orion. A voice suddenly broke the tranquility of the night, echoing through the trees. It was Kale, the fiery warrior of the Crimson Fang Pack, and a bitter reminder of Luna's past. You've been summoned. We need you to return to the territory. There has been a breach. Orion's body stiffened, instincts flaring. What do you mean, a breach? The Esser rogue pack encroaching on our territory, Kale said, urgency tinging his words. It could spark a war. We need all hands on deck. Luna's eyes widened, the fear evident. Orion, you have to protect your pack. They need you. The last thing you should be worrying about is me. No, he said, shaking his head. This could be a trap. They might be trying to lure you back. Then I'll come with you, Luna insisted, determination flaring in her eyes. I want to let you face this alone. That? Alara interjected fiercely. You just returned. You need to stay in there. And let you face danger alone? Luna countered, her voice steady as she stepped between them. I want to hide while you fight. If you refacing them, I will fight too. You can take that away from me. Kale exchanged a look with Orion, clearly impressed by Luna's tenacity. If she is willing to fight, she can come, but we need to move quickly. Orion felt the weight of that decision settle in his heart. Are you sure about this, Luna? You don't know what they might do. I am sure, she replied, fierce and unwavering. I didn't return to hide. I came to protect what is mine. As they moved through the forest, adrenaline surged within him, each step a reminder of their intertwined fates. The battleground would be a reflection of their hearts, a crucible of love, loyalty, and the pain of the past. Orion, Alara whispered, falling beside him as they journeyed. No matter what happens, know that I've always supported you. Please choose wisely. I will, he promised, though uncertainty gnawed at him. But know that whatever happens, my heart will always hold space for you. As they approached the clearing where the shadows of the rogue pack loomed ahead, Orion felt the power of destiny entwining them. He stood at the precipice of a battle, not only for his pack, but for the love that had shaped his heart. The night would unveil the truth of their bonds, the depths of their sacrifices, and the mystical ties that would either bind them together or tear them apart. As the howls of his pack echoed around him, he understood that love was the greatest challenge of all the beautiful, chaotic labyrinth that he had to navigate. And as the moon rose higher, he steeled himself for the fight ahead, knowing that the outcome would determine everything. As the night deepened, a tense silence enveloped the clearing, thick with tension and uncertainty. Orion stood at the forefront, his heart racing as he faced the encroaching shadows of the rogue pack. The moonlight illuminated the tension in the air, wrapping around him like a shroud. Beside him, Luna's presence felt electrifying, her determination radiating warmth as they prepared for battle. Orion, she said softly, her eyes locked onto his, no matter what happens tonight, remember why I came back. I am fighting for you, for us. He nodded, feeling the weight of her words. The bond between them, forged in shared memories and deep love, seemed to pulse like a living entity. Yet doubt lingered in the back of his mind, whispering that the path ahead was fraught with peril, not just from the rogue pack, but also from their tumultuous past. Hale, the fiery warrior of the Crimson Fang Pack, stepped forward, his gaze fierce and commanding. We need to stay focused. They won't wait for us to sort out our feelings. They'll take advantage of any weakness. Orion turned to Alara, whose fierce loyalty had been unwavering. She was the heart of his pack, a steady force in the storm. If it comes down to it, I need you to stay back and protect our territory, he said, his voice low but filled with authority. I can't just stand by if you re-fighting, she replied, her determination clear. I can abandon you now. You won't be abandoning me, he insisted, a hint of desperation lacing his voice. You are my strength, stay alive for me, for this pack. As the rogue pack moved closer, a chilling howl pierced the night, echoing through the trees. It felt like a harbinger of the chaos that would soon unfold. He could see the rogue wolves emerging from the shadows, their eyes glinting with malevolence as they approached, their intentions clear. Luna, stepping closer, whispered, "We'll all fight together, right?" Always. The promise hung between them, a tether of hope amidst uncertainty. As the first rogue lunged, Orion's instincts surged forward, his wolf taking control. With a swift movement, he dodged the attack, retaliating with the force of a storm. The night erupted into chaos, the sounds of snarls, growls, and the sharp clash of teeth filled the air. It was a brutal symphony, a dance of survival. Luna fought fiercely beside him, her movements fluid and powerful. She was a warrior, a force to be reckoned with. But as they battled side by side, he felt a twinge of worry. "Stay close," he shouted over the cacophony, his protective instincts igniting. "I can handle myself," she yelled back, a fierce grin spreading across her face as she took down another rogue, her fighting spirit radiant. Orion couldn't help but smile through the chaos. Her strength reminded him of the past they shared, the memories that had both haunted and propelled him forward. But as joy mingled with the turmoil of the moment, he caught a glimpse of Alara battling her own adversary, the fierce resolve in her eyes matching Luna's. As the fight raged on, Orion found himself torn between the two women who represented different facets of his heart. Alara was steadfast, a beacon of loyalty and stability. Luna was fire and passion, the embodiment of what he had lost. The battle felt like a reflection of his inner turmoil, a struggle not just against the rogues but against the ghosts of his past. With a sudden, jarring force, a rogue knocked him off balance, sending him sprawling to the ground. Before he could regain his footing, the rogue lunged for him. "Orion!" Luna's scream pierced through the chaos as she leapt toward him, her wolf form fierce and resolute. In that moment, time seemed to slow. She collided with the rogue, her strength propelling them both away. Orion's heart raced as he watched, fear gripping him tight. "Luna!" "No," he shouted, scrambling to his feet. But Luna was undeterred. She fought with the ferocity of 1,000 storms, her instincts guiding her. As she clashed with the rogue, Orion felt something shift within him, a primal connection igniting. Their fates were intertwined, and he could sense her determination radiating through their bond. As the fight continued, a rogue attacked from behind, aiming for Luna. Orion's wolf surged forward, instinct taking control. Everything else faded away, there was only Luna, and the need to protect her. With a powerful leap, he intercepted the rogue, tearing into its flesh. The rogue crumpled to the ground, but not before a howl of pain erupted into the night. "Orion!" Luna's voice cut through the chaos, worry etched across her features as she rushed to his side. "Are you hurt?" "I am fine," he assured her, though the ache in his heart hinted otherwise. "You need to focus on the fight." But before she could respond, Kale shouted, "The rogues are regrouping, we need to finish this." With renewed ferocity, Orion felt the energy of the pack surge around them. They were more than individuals, they were bound together by loyalty and love. Orion locked eyes with Alara, who fought valiantly, her strength the cornerstone of their defense. The connection between them pulsed, a reminder of the bond they had forged through shared battles and quiet moments. "Together!" Orion roared, rallying the pack as he felt the primal urge to defend everything he held dear. With a united howl, they charged forward, a wave of determination crashing against the rogue pack. But in the heat of the battle, a sudden realization struck him. The true enemy wasn't just the rogues, it was the unresolved feelings that simmered between him, Luna, and Alara. Every blow he struck felt like a reminder of the painful choices he had to face. As he fought alongside Luna, he witnessed her strength and tenacity. She moved with a grace that left him in awe, her wolf form flickering in the moonlight. "Orion," she called, her voice fierce, "we can't let them overwhelm us." "I know," he shouted back, every instinct screaming at him to protect her. But as he glanced over at Alara, he saw her fighting her own battle, her eyes filled with fierce determination. The realization struck him like a lightning bolt, he couldn't lose either of them. The tide of battle turned as the united forces of the Azure Moon pack overwhelmed the rogue pack. With swift teamwork, they began to drive the rogues back, reclaiming their territory. The night air filled with howls of victory, but each chief felt tainted by the weight of his heart's turmoil. As the last rogue fell, Ryan stood panting, surveying the aftermath. The adrenaline began to fade, leaving behind the raw reality of the choices he faced. "We did it!" Luna exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with triumph. But as her gaze met his, the joy was overshadowed by the weight of unspoken words. "Orion, about earlier," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "I know," he replied, the storm of emotions crashing over him like waves. "But now is not the time. We need to regroup, to mourn our losses and heal." Alara approached, her expression steady yet filled with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. "We fought well, but we need to talk about what happens next." "Yes," Luna added, her gaze steady on Orion. "I want to leave again, but we need to confront our feelings to find a way to navigate this together." The air crackled with tension, the weight of the night heavy on their shoulders. Orion looked between them, the two women who had each carved their mark on his heart. They had fought side by side, but the true battle lay ahead in the realm of their hearts. "I can't deny what we've all shared," he began, his voice steady, filled with raw emotion. "You both mean more to me than I can express, and tonight showed me that love isn't about choosing one over the other, that it's about embracing the complexity of our connections." Luna stepped closer, her eyes shining. "Orion, I am willing to fight for us, to prove that I can be a Luna, that I can stand by your side without hesitation. And I'll stand beside you, no matter what," Alara added, her voice unwavering. "But we need to understand what this means for all of us. Love isn't a zero-sum game, it is about finding balance." The tension hung in the air, thick and heavy, yet filled with the promise of something new. Orion felt the weight of their gazes, the warmth of their hearts, as the moon bathed them in silvery light. "I want us to forge a new path," he said, his voice resolute. "A path that embraces all of who we are. Together, we can redefine our destinies." Luna and Alara exchanged glances, a spark of understanding lighting their eyes. In that moment, he felt the invisible threads of their fates weaving together, forging a bond that transcended fear and uncertainty. As they stood together, united by love and loyalty, Orion felt a sense of peace settle within him. The battles they faced were not just outward, they were also journeys of the heart. The night was vast. *** she was his second chance, but his Luna returned. Part 4 ***. The moon hung high above the clearing, casting a translucent glow over the exhausted pack. Orion stood at the center, his heart thrumming in the aftermath of battle, both invigorated and tortured. The fight with the rogue pack had been fierce, but it had revealed even fiercer emotions within him. "Orion," Luna said softly, stepping closer, her breath quickening as she met his gaze. "We did it, but we need to talk." The warmth of her presence felt like a balm to the raw edges of his soul. "Yes, we need to, but there is so much to unpack. I can't process everything right now." His voice was hoarse, and he felt the weight of the night pressing down on him. Alara approached, her expression a mixture of resolute strength and vulnerability. "You both fought bravely tonight," she said, her eyes darting between them. "But the battle for your hearts is far from over." The air crackled with tension, a vivid reminder of the choices that lay ahead. "I know you both deserve answers," Orion replied, his heart racing. "But I need clarity myself. I need time to think." "Diam?" Luna echoed, disbelief flashing across her features. "You think I am going to let you walk away again, not after everything I've fought for to return to you?" "Luna, please," Alara added gently. "This isn't easy for him. He has every right to feel lost. We've all been through so much." Orion rubbed the back of his neck, feeling the weight of their emotions. "I didn't ask for any of this. I'd only wanted to protect the pack, protect you both." "But you are not just an alpha," Luna insisted, her voice trembling with urgency. "You are a man with a heart. You have to let yourself feel. You need to choose what you desire." "And what if I desire both?" Orion challenged, his frustration boiling over. "What if my heart is torn between the past and the present? Then maybe we can find a way to navigate this together," Alara suggested, hope dancing in her eyes. "Love is not a finite resource. It can expand, transform, evolve." The forest held its breath, the shadows of the trees framing their moment like a spell. Orion felt the stirrings of hope, but also fear of making the wrong choice, fear of losing one or both of them. "How can I do that?" he whispered, almost to himself. "By being honest," Luna encouraged, stepping forward with renewed strength. "Tell us what you want, Orion. What does your heart truly desire?" He took a deep breath, feeling the tension knotting in his stomach. I want to feel whole again, he admitted, his voice breaking slightly. I want to honor Luna, but not at the cost of losing Alara. Ivy leaned on both of you in my darkest moment. Alara's gaze softened, understanding flooding her features. We've both sacrificed for you, but you need to know that sacrificing isn't the same as choosing. You don't have to carry the burden alone. You were asking me to redefine everything, he replied, feeling the weight of her words settle within him. You two were my anchors, and now you both the tide shifting beneath me. Luna stepped closer, her eyes fierce yet tender. Then let us redefine what it means to be together. Let us forge a new bond, a triad of strength, where love is not a cage but a sanctuary. Ryan's heart raced at the prospect. You would both be willing to share me? The words felt heavy on his tongue. Alara nodded slowly. I believe love can be expansive. We've all suffered in different ways, and if we reach to heal, we need to embrace the complexity. Luna reached out, her fingers brushing his hand. You are not one person's possession, Orion. You are a leader, a warrior, and a lover. We have all been intertwined in this destiny, and I want to walk away again. Ryan felt the heat of her touch, igniting a fire within him. But how do we move forward? I don't want to hurt either of you. The stakes feel impossibly high. The weight of the night filled the space around them, but with each passing moment, he felt a flicker of understanding ignite between them. We start by being honest about our fears, Alara suggested, her voice steady yet filled with compassion. Let us face whatever comes together. Before Orion could respond, a rustle broke through the silence, shattering the fragile moment. Kel emerged, breathless and urgent. Alpha, we need you immediately. There has been a disturbance in the northern borders. It could be another rogue attack. Damn it. Ryan cursed, frustration mounting once more. Why can't we have one moment of peace? Luna's eyes widened, her determination returning. Then let us make this count. We'll fight together again, but we need to communicate and trust one another. Yes, Alara added, her fierce spirit ignited. No more secrets, we face this as one unit. As they moved to gather the pack, Orion felt the weight of their shared resolve. The tumult of emotions was still there, but it began to feel like a canvas rather than a prison. They were stepping into a new chapter, one filled with uncertainty but also hope. The journey to the northern borders was fraught with tension, every step taken under the shadows of doubt. Ryan felt the bond between them growing, yet the haunting remnants of betrayal lingered. If we were going to do this as a try, he said, breaking the silence, we need to establish clear boundaries and communication. Luna nodded, her expression focused. Absolutely, we can't afford to let misunderstandings fester again. Trust is key, Alara added firmly. We need to be open about our feelings and frustrations. As they neared the border, the landscape shifted, shadows growing denser. Orion's instincts flared, something was off. Stay close, he barked, sensing impending danger. Suddenly, a low growl echoed from the darkness, followed by a group of shadowy figures emerging. The rogue pack had returned, their eyes glowing with malice. Form a line, Ryan commanded, rallying his pack. But even as they positioned themselves, he felt the dread looming over him. They were more numerous than before. Orion, Luna called, her voice fierce. Focus, we can't let fear take hold. We've faced adversity before, and we'll do it again together. Together? Alara echoed, her eyes burning with determination. We wouldn't back down. We'll protect our territory and our bond. As the rogues lunged forward, Orion felt the surge of energy coursing through him. He transformed, embracing the wolf within, feeling the raw power and instincts flood his senses. The battle erupted once more, chaotic yet exhilarating. Ryan fought alongside Luna and Alara, their movements synchronized, a beautiful dance of strength and unity. But as he battled fiercely, a rogue broke through their line, aiming straight for Alara. "Ugh!" Ryan shouted, his body surging forward, but Luna was faster. She intercepted the rogue mid-lunge, her spirit fierce and unwavering. "Ivy got this," she yelled, grappling with the rogue, her wolf form radiant. Ryan's heart raced as he watched her fight. "Luna, be careful. I am not letting you down again." Luna roared, her strength palpable as she wrestled the rogue to the ground, her claws piercing its flesh. But as she fought, another rogue slashed at her flank, leaving a deep gash. "Luna!" Ryan shouted, desperation flooding his voice. But before he could reach her, Alara was already there, fighting off the rogue with fierce precision. "Stay focused," Alara yelled, her voice cutting through the chaos. "We can't lose our strength." With renewed ferocity, Orion turned back to the fray, feeling the bond between them pushing him forward. They fought as one, each movement a testament to their commitment, their love, and their shared destiny. The battle raged, but with each passing moment, they began to push the rogues back, reclaiming their territory. Ryan felt the unity of their hearts, the connection that transcended mere words. As the last rogue fell, silence enveloped the clearing once more. Ryan stood panting, catching his breath, his heart a tumult of emotions. "Luna," he called, rushing to her side, worryish across his features. "Are you hurt?" She nodded, though her breath came in shaky gasps. "I am fine, just a scratch." Alara joined them, her expression filled with pride and relief. "We did it, we fought together and we won." "Yes," Orion said, gazing at them both, the weight of the night settling into clarity. "But we must acknowledge how fragile our bonds are. We need to keep fighting for each other, not just against the rogues, but for our hearts." Luna stepped closer, her eyes shining with a fierce resolve. "I'll fight for you, for us. No more running, no more hiding." "And I'll stand beside you," Alara added, her voice steady.